Reimagining Success, Episode 14.
You're listening to Reimagining Success, the podcast where we help you reimagine your future, designing a life and career beyond the 9 to 5 that allows you the freedom, flexibility and fulfillment that you've been dreaming of. I'm your host, Anna Lundberg. Now, let's get started on those dreams.
Hello there and welcome back to the Reimagining Success podcast. It is time for another episode and it is an exciting one because for the last few weeks we've been focusing on the importance of personal branding and what it can do for your business. And last week we introduced the idea of creating content that will build your personal brand. And I really hope you've been following along and you're ready to get started with stepping things up with your own personal brand. This week, I'm pleased to announce that we have a fantastic training coming up to help you do just that. Now, first of all, if you're coming in late to the party, don't worry. You can go back and listen to the previous episodes. Just to recap, we started in episode 9 with why your personal brand is important when you're running your own business. Episode 10 was how to go about finding and crafting your personal brand, how to find your story that you want to tell. Episode 11 was getting comfortable with selling yourself, getting comfortable with even that idea of you thinking of yourself as a personal brand, which can be quite tricky. Episode 12, how to assess your brand as it stands today. So doing a bit of an audit as to where you are today so that you know what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. And then episode 13 last week was all around how to start creating content that will build your personal brand. So really introducing this topic that we're about to go into. Now, if you're already ready to sign up, this is the Personal Branding Bootcamp. It's our 5th bootcamp challenge that we're running in the last couple of years, and you can sign up at onestepoutside.com/personal branding. Now, first of all, to recap on why we're even covering this topic, remember first of all that you have a personal brand, whether you do anything about it or not. Your personal brand is really what people, and in the context of your business, specifically your clients, your prospects, your peers, are thinking and saying about you, both online and offline. So managing and shaping your personal brand, and I think it's important to say this, is not about lying. It's not about creating a fake persona, but about making sure that you're showing up as your very best possible self. So you want to be portraying and positioning yourself, your purpose, your values, your strengths and skills. And that's something we talked about in episode 10 around how to find your story. You want to be portraying and positioning yourself in a way that will feed into your business and, of course, ultimately sell your products and services. Although remember that your personal brand is going to live above and beyond your current business and offering. So, for example, I left my corporate job in 2013, so 6 years ago now almost, and there have been several different twists and turns in my own business brand and proposition. I've got several different websites and sort of behind the scenes projects still going on, but the one consistent thread is me, Anna Lundberg. Anna Sophia Elizabeth Lundberg. It's the Anna S.E. Lundberg that I have because Anna Lundberg is such a common name in Sweden. And that is who I am and what I stand for. So even though there have been different iterations of me focusing more on my marketing, combining now my coaching and branding and marketing in the One Step Outside business, Anna Lundberg is the constant thread throughout that. So building your personal brand is going to allow you to establish credibility in a new space. Very important if you're transitioning from the corporate 9 to 5, perhaps into freelancing or consulting or into a completely different industry. And when I started coaching, it was very new. And although it might be easy for me to say, hey, I'm now qualified and trained to be a coach, it does take time to build that new audience, to build the trust with the new audience. And again, to establish that credibility. So now, several years into it, I have so many resources and I've done speaking events, workshops, I have client testimonials and so on. And that's something that's built my personal brand over the last few years. Another reason to build your personal brand is to raise your value perception. And of course, that allows you to raise your prices, which is never a bad thing. Raising your value perception, standing out in a crowded marketplace so that you can become more than just a commodity. You don't want to just be some basic product or service that is easily replaceable. Why should I go to you if there are 3 other people offering the same thing for a cheaper price? And you certainly don't want to be racing to the bottom with a price competition, because that's not really serving anybody. It doesn't get the right clients for you. You'll never win. There'll always be a so-called Walmart or Target who's going to come in and undercut your prices, and it's not going to allow you to build that business around, again, your values, your purpose, and above all, to allow you to create that freedom and flexibility that we always talk about, that's so important when we're designing a business that is going to be meaningfully successful to us. So again, in terms of why personal branding, if you're not yet convinced or you'd like to hear more, do go back to episode 9, why your personal brand is important when you're running your own business. Also, by the way, whether you relate as a freelancer, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, small business owner, or even an employee, this is incredibly important. Okay, so how do you go about creating content that's going to build your personal brand? Well, in order to create content that builds your personal brand, you need to start by understanding what you're trying to achieve. So as ever, defining what success looks like for you, which of course is what this entire podcast is around. So what is the purpose for you individually, you personally? I've given you some ideas as to what personal branding can do for you and your business, but why is this important to you? That also helps you, by the way, if you feel a bit uncomfortable about it. As ever, if you know that this is really helping you achieve your personal and professional goals, it's easier to get your head around it, and you'll feel more at ease with actually building the brand because you know it's really serving you. So first of all, understand what is success for you. What would a personal brand do for you and your business? Secondly, who is your intended audience? So you really need to understand your clients, and in the bootcamp that I'll tell you more about in a second, we'll have some pre-work for you to make sure that you're clear on your client in case you don't have that clarity just yet. But you need to know who you're speaking to. And then on the other side of the coin, you need to know what story you want to tell with your content. And for that one, again, you can go back to episode 10 around how to find your story. But the content we're creating really needs to sit at the sweet spot between what your client wants to hear and see and learn on the one hand, and the story you want to tell on the other. So if you imagine sort of a Venn diagram of those 2 circles intersecting, and that's where we want to be creating content. Now, based on an understanding of your objectives and your target audience, you can then decide on the content themes, the topics, the broader areas that you want to cover that are going to bring to life your brand in an engaging way for that audience. So before you even think about, do I do Facebook or Instagram or live videos or podcasting or whatever, you're really understanding, okay, these are the kinds of topics. And we'll talk about this more in the challenge. But for me, of course, I talk about sort of the big idea of reimagining success. I get more specific into business and branding strategy, overcoming obstacles, for example, mindset and so on, work-life balance and time management and getting things done. So there are, broadly speaking, sort of 5 themes that I'm usually focusing on in order to bring to life my brand in a way that's relevant for my audience. So what are the content themes you're going to be focusing on? Then you can look at the right format and channel for distributing that content. So for example, will you be doing video or articles or graphics? And on which social media platforms will you be publishing each piece of content? And plan out your content calendar for when and where you're going to be posting things. And finally, you will need to actually schedule content creation and distribution into your own calendar so that it becomes part of your weekly and daily routine. Now, this may sound like a lot of work. However, this sort of groundwork, the foundations that you're putting in place, a very intentional and strategic approach to creating and distributing content is going to ensure that the content you do create is doing what you want it to be doing and that you get where you want to get to. Because otherwise the danger is that you're just throwing stuff out there, your audience will get no sense of what you're actually trying to say, and you yourself will feel frustrated because of all the hard work you're doing. You're busy all the time without seeing any real results. And I hear this from people all the time. They feel like, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm doing Facebook and this, that and the other, but I'm just exhausted. I'm not really seeing the results. So this is about being intentional, focused, understanding what your message is, who your audience is, and then going about showing up consistently, persistently, and really building that personal brand, which, by the way, takes much longer than we ever realize. So with all this in mind, as I said, I'm excited to invite you to the Personal Branding Bootcamp, which is taking place over in the One Step Outside Facebook group. Now, it's pretty intensive. It's a 5-day training that's going to help you clarify why you want to build a personal brand, what content you'll be creating, when and where you should be distributing that content, and how you'll be executing your plan consistently each week. So the way this works is that there are live sessions in the Facebook group every day. with concrete action steps for you to take so that you can really make progress. This is all about taking action, not just showing up to one more sort of passive training, taking notes and then going about your business as usual. There will be prizes to reward the action takers. So there's a prize every day, as well as an overall prize for participation throughout the challenge at the end of the week. And if that's not enough, with the 5 days, there'll be plenty of bonus sessions in the following days that will have more tips on what to do next, as well as opportunities to work with me to help you take this forward should you want to have more support and not continue working on it by yourself. Now, hopefully you're listening to this live because we are getting started on Sunday, the 3rd of March, 2019. We're in if you're watching or listening rather live. So there is no time to lose. We're starting on Sunday, the 3rd of March. So I'd love to get you already into the group if you're not already there, introducing yourself and again, getting that pre-work that you'll be getting and sort of the email sequence before the challenge starts. So again, join us in the Personal Branding Bootcamp. You're going to learn how to create and share content that will establish your credibility, help you demonstrate your value to potential clients, and ultimately build a long-lasting business. So again, you can sign up at onestepoutside.com/personal branding. Now, to go through what you'll be learning on each day, if you'd like to hear more, day 1 is going to be why you want to build a personal brand. Day 2, what content you should be creating at the sweet spot, as I said, between what your clients want on the one hand and what you want to stand for on the other. Day 3, where you will be distributing that content, so choosing the right format and channels. Day 4, when you'll be distributing what, and that's really creating a content calendar, and I'll be giving you a template for that, as well as sharing my own example to keep you organised and consistent. And day 5, wrapping up, before we go into those bonus sessions that I mentioned, we're bringing it all together, establishing a consistent daily and weekly routine. And again, I'll be sharing my very own routine, so you get an example. And that will have you creating content, sharing content, and ultimately building a strong personal brand that's really going to serve you and your business in the long run. So a word of warning, this is going to be intense. It's a fast pace. You have a training with homework to do every day, just a small piece of homework. You can spend as much or as little time as you want, but the idea is you can do it quickly. I know you guys are busy with families, with work and everything else that life throws at you. The benefit is that you really get that fast pace, the 1 week of getting fantastic results, really focusing on this particular topic. You get the group dynamic. The last group was particularly supportive. Everyone was joining in, offering advice. I know we have some experienced entrepreneurs in the group as well, so great to hear what other people are saying, and it's just been a really fun week to get together. But again, because we have that group dynamic, it is intense, you have the fast pace, your results are going to come as a result. And in fact, last challenge, we had someone who's now a client, in fact, in the Fast Track Your Business program that we launched last month. She said that she got more out of that 1 week than she'd actually been able to produce in the previous month. So, if you've been sort of feeling a bit slow, already well into the second month of the year now, and maybe you haven't quite been getting on top of things as you wanted to, this is a fantastic opportunity to sort of get things back on track, kickstart again to get you closer to your goals for 2019 and really lay the groundwork for the future. So you will get immediate results from this. You'll hopefully feel more focused and organized. You'll have a really clear plan for what you should be doing every day and every week. But also while you do this, and if you continue to do this over the next weeks and months, you will then be absolutely seeing the longer term results coming from creating that consistent content, building relationships with your ideal clients, and ultimately building that fantastic personal brand that will stand you in good stead and whatever happens again to your specific business. So again, it's all happening over in the One Step Outside Facebook group. You will get an invitation to join if you're not already a member, so make sure you're signed up to that before so we can introduce you and have you all set up in time for when we get started on Sunday the 3rd of March. We do sometimes, for some reason, have people who sign up and then they never join the group, so that's a bit tricky because all the training is going on in the group. Of course, by the way, I should say just a bit of logistics. The training happens 8 o'clock UK time every evening, and this is the time that's worked best for people in the past. In Europe, sort of it's when the kids are in bed, I guess, that it's sort of at the end of the day. If you happen to be still in a full-time job, it's after that and so on. I know, unfortunately, that doesn't work for all of you. We have people listening and watching all around the world. So if you're in Asia, Australia, some parts of the US, maybe that'll be too early, too late, or just won't work with your particular calendar. You can always watch the replays. I will be sending an email after each live with the link to the specific replay, and then you can comment and interact, and I really encourage you to do that. So pretend it is live, even if you're doing it a day late, and then I will be able to pop in, reply to your questions, comments, answer everything, and get you set up as if you were doing it live. But of course, if you can join live, it's more fun for me, it's better for the group, and we can really have that fun, fast-paced dynamic. So really looking forward to seeing you in the challenge. Again, it's starting on Sunday, the 3rd of March. It's happening over in the Facebook group. For now, all you need to do is get yourself signed up at onestepoutside.com/personal branding. Do check that you get the confirmation email, and that means that you'll be getting all the information you need in terms of next steps, in terms of that pre-work that I mentioned, and in terms of getting ready for when we get started on Sunday the 3rd. And I can't wait to see you there. So one more time, onestepoutside.com/personal branding, and let's get you that fantastic, strong, effective content plan that's going to help you build your brand and build your business. Hope to see you there. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Reimagining Success with Anna Lundberg. If you're looking for support and encouragement as you begin to reimagine success in your life, then come on over and join us in the One Step Outside Facebook group. You'll find like-minded people who will cheer you on, as well as free training sessions and lots more. To join, visit onestepoutside.com/community, or just search for One Step Outside on Facebook. I'll see you over there.